Hello there, dear listener, and welcome to the podcast with no name. Today, the captain and I are going to lead Sid, Eddie and each other through a bit of a quiz. It's mostly general knowledge. We'll see how smart we are. We thought we'd do a quiz because we haven't done one for a while and they are a bit of fun. So sit back, enjoy and see if you know the answers, dear listener.
So, Princess, this is a quiz that you and the captain have organised and put together the questions, is that right?
That's right, Sid. We've each prepared
So you're
half.
on one team and Sid, and Eddie and I are on the other?
Oh, no, we don't know each other's questions.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Princess will lead one,
We're
and then
going to
I'm
take
in on
turns.
that. And then, I'll do the other.
I was looking for something that's just so gratuitously unfair we could have a laugh with it.
I'm
Oh,
going to
I
win
hope-
anyway, so it doesn't matter.
So Captain and I will each be quizmaster for half the quiz and we will be contestants for half the quiz.
Wow, there's nothing convoluted about that one, listener.
See?
Honest. We're so honest. I actually ran this quiz by my brother last night when I was speaking to him, and he was like, how dumb am I? Just
Really?
Yeah, it was just like, it's stuff, I don't know, it's a quiz. You either know it or you don't, It's not like your life depends on it.
Exactly. And bearing in mind that I have prepared and run a few quizzes over the time of the running of our broadcast of the podcast with no name, dear listener, I decided to amp it up a bit and make some questions a little bit harder because I know that Sid and Eddie are no slouches and they are very clever boys and the captain runs rings around us all. So we'll see how we all
reserve
go.
that judgment about us being no slouches until you hear our answers.
Yeah. We'll edit that bit out at the end,
No, they're clever people, dear listener. Don't let them convince you otherwise. Do you want to do the first round, Captain?
Sure, I can do that.
We're not going to play as a team. Let's just call out our name to answer.
Sure.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'd just
sent
like to know,
something
too, that Sid and I have pre-scripted our answers.
Oh, you're one ahead of me.
I'm sure they'll match up somewhere.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it.
All right, round one, question one. What is the main ingredient of a cosmopolitan cocktail?
I don't drink alcohol. That's not fair.
Eddie,
Go.
is it cranberry juice?
Oh, yes, I suppose it is. I've got vodka. Maybe I should have written that question a bit better.
Oh,
but yes,
you mean
cranberry
the
juice.
alcoholic ingredient?
Yeah, I should have written that question better. So, but yes, I'll take that because it is cranberry juice.
Yeah, 2 points to Eddie.
1 point.
No, 2. You got the question wrong.
It's wrong.
2 points
Yeah,
to
fair
Eddie.
enough. Fair enough by default.
That's about the only point I've ever got in a quiz so far.
Yeah. Question 2. Who is known as the Muscles from Brussels?
Princess. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Well done. Question 3. What is the first place name on a traditional Monopoly board?
Princess.
Yes.
Old Kent Road.
Oh, correct. You're on fire, girl.
Damn.
I challenge that.
Really?
Yeah, it's Go.
That's not a place name.
It's a place. It's the first place on a Monopoly board. You all start on Go.
Oh, look, do not pass Go. Do not collect $200.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
and question 4.
I'm not even being heard in this listening, am I?
If you're passing Go, wouldn't that mean Go is last?
Yeah, I would have thought Go was last.
Yeah, but you have to go past, you have to get to the whole start to pick up your $200. And what's your starting point? You don't start at Old Kent Road. You start at Go.
When you start counting 1, you count 1. If you get, if you roll the dice and you get 7, number 1 is Old Kent Road.
But you have to start from a starting point.
Which is nothing.
But that was not the question. What is the first place name?
Go.
And we say again, Go is not a place.
Thought you were about to tell me where to go then.
keep these up and we will.
Yeah,
I'm used
you're
to
not
being
winning
told
the
where to
beauty
go.
contest either. So, okay, question 4. What famous detective lives at 56B Whitehaven Gardens, London?
Princess.
Eddie. Oh. Yeah.
Princess?
Sherlock Holmes.
No.
Oh,
There we go.
That's what I would have said.
Come on, Sid.
Clue? Do
No.
you want a clue?
Yes, please.
He has little grey cells.
Oh, I was going to
Sid.
say that and I changed my mind.
Hercule Poirot.
Correct. All right. This is a good one. Question 5. What was the name of the Labrador who lived in Ramsay Street on Neighbours from 1987 to 1983? Oh, Eddie, I think you're in.
Bouncer.
Correct.
How do you know that?
I was made to
Everyone knows
watch.
that.
was
I don't
made to
know
watch
that. How do you
movies
know
before
that?
I used to watch it.
All right, question 6. What is the 5th planet from the sun?
Princess.
Princess.
Jupiter.
Correct. Question 7. What year was Concorde first flown?
Oh, God.
Princess.
Sid.
Princess?
As a test flight or as a commercial flight?
No, just as, no test flight, just the year it started.
1969.
Oh, correct. Out of control.
Wow.
I was actually going to say 1968, so well done.
Big brain.
69 was a great year.
Yeah. Question 8. A griffin is a mythical creature created from which 2 animals?
Princess.
Anyone?
A lion and is it a dragon or an eagle?
It's a tin man.
Ooh. Which one are you going to choose, Princess?
It's got wings. It's got dragon.
Oh, it's an eagle.
Damn!
Half a point.
And
Half a point? Okay.
Even Eddie was
Well
giving
done,
you the
though.
answer.
All right, question 9. Who had the hit song Happy Together in 1967?
Sid.
Sid?
The Turtles.
Oh, correct. Well done. Very well done.
You and me.
So happy together.
Yeah.
Question 10. Name the river that flows through Glasgow.
Sid.
Sid, go.
Is it the Clyde?
It is. Well done.
You know, you've just beat me out on that, Sid. And what I had to do was sing this old song that my dad liked playing on 45 records, which was called Sailing Up the Clyde, sung by this old drunken Glaswegian.
I was using the song method of recall as well. I
Yeah,
was waiting to get to the certain line. I go, that's right, this is the Clyde.
yeah. There we go.
Is anyone keeping score?
Same song?
Yeah, I'm keeping score. Yeah.
Okay, no worries.
All right, 11. Question 11. A loganberry is a hybrid of which 2 berries? We can edit out the silence. Go, Sid.
Blueberry, blackberry.
No. Half a point.
Woohoo.
Princess,
Yes.
blackberry and ligonberry.
What's a ligonberry?
Is there a ligonberry?
No, I don't think there is.
Right. I could be wrong then.
I don't think so. Anyone else? Come on, take a stab. Half a point up for grabs.
Eddie, a blackberry and a raspberry.
Well done. Half a point.
You had some red in it.
Yeah. Who got the first point? Was that you, Sid?
Yeah.
It was, yes.
Yeah. And then half, Eddie.
I went down in flames.
All right. Who is the teddy bear named after?
Princess,
Yes.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Correct. Question 13. What year did the Titanic sink?
Sid.
Correct.
No. Correct. April 1912.
That is correct. Absolutely. Very specific as well. right.
No, it was the Atlantic, not the Pacific Ocean.
All right. Maybe I should stop there and do a who am I? Because I went past the 10. All right. Who am I? Long question. Jump in when you know. This person was born in New York City in 1950, but was raised in California. From 1972 to 1979 was in a band called Clover. They travelled and ended up in the UK, and they busked their way around Europe to get back to America. This person is known as a very good harmonica player who featured on many albums, one of them being Thin Lizzy's 1978 album, Live and Dangerous. As part of their band, they released an album in 1983 called Sports, which produced several hits.
Eddie.
Eddie, go.
Huey Lewis.
Oh, well done. Well done.
It's one of his favourite bands.
Is it?
Saw
I
him
didn't
live.
even know that.
Yeah,
I
it's
just-
on live.
I just heard a song on the radio yesterday and, I was knowing that I needed to do Who Am I? So I figured that's a good person.
Incredibly talented guy, Huey Lewis.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
The band was absolutely amazing. The
Yeah.
a cappella
Are they
was
still
just
going?
Unreal.
Are they
In-
still going as a band?
I don't think so.
No, it's Huey actually has Meniere's disease,
Oh,
which
Sorry,
is like
pardon, what's
a
that? Yeah.
so it's like a I don't want to say it's like tinnitus, but it's almost like a middle ear sort of balance and hearing type
Okay.
issue. Yeah, but he's certainly had an amazing career. Well,
If he
well
does
done,
gigs
Eddie.
now, he has to lay down on the stage.
Yeah.
okay, dear listener. Now we're up to round 2, and this one's prepared by me. Okay, name a 4-letter country that is in Africa.
Sid.
Eddie.
Sid.
Chad.
Yes.
Oh, I said Chad.
Right. There's 2 more. Do you want to try for those?
Oh, okay.
I don't know the other two.
Chime in, Captain.
Mali.
Yes.
Just trying to go
One.
through all the countries around there. Around the West Coast, there's 1,001 countries, and I'm just trying to go through as many as I can remember.
Yeah. It's a lot of countries in Africa.
There is.
I think I'm about to have one of those, oh, yes, of course, moments.
Okay. Would you like me to tell you?
Yes, please.
Togo.
Togo.
Oh, you see, yeah.
Yep. There we go. Okay. What kind of fabric is made by made from a caterpillar?
Captain,
Oh, Captain.
silk.
Yes, from the silkworm. Did everybody have silkworms when they were kids?
Yes.
Oh, so much fun, weren't they?
Yeah, it was, yeah. Yeah, it was some type of school project we did with silkworms.
No, our neighbour had a massive mulberry tree, so we had silkworms a
Oh,
lot.
yeah, we had a mulberry tree. Amazing.
Yes. Rightio. Question 3. If you mix all colours of light together, do you get black, white, or a rainbow?
Eddie.
Go, Eddie.
Black.
No.
That was one or the other.
When you say mix them together,
I'm not talking
what,
about
it
paint.
like-
I'm talking about the spectrum.
about like
In a bowl.
like refraction
with spoon.
sort of thing.
I'm talking about refraction, not
Yeah.
paint.
Sid.
Go, Sid.
Well, you'd be talking about rainbow.
No.
Okay, the answer,
White.
Captain, white.
Yes.
Wow. You were thinking long and hard about that.
Genius. I'm a genius.
You are. You are. Question 4. When was the Gutenberg Bible published? The Gutenberg Bible is the first book published by movable type, i.e. a printing press.
Can't we narrow it down to a century?
1400 and something.
We'll
go for the closest.
1492.
No.
Eddie.
Yes, Eddie.
1443.
Yep. Captain?
1442.
1445.
Ah,
So close. Sid, you were way off, honey.
Right. Just a quick show of hands. Who didn't check their phone on that one?
hands are free. Not
I
cheating.
didn't check my phone. Okay. That was very impressive.
Dear
I don't
listener,
even know where my phone is.
because we record these podcasts through a Zoom meeting, and I am looking at Captain Eddie and Sid. They did not use their phones. We do not cheat on our quizzes. We
You
are.
speak for yourself. Oh, sorry.
Did you just give yourself away there?
Thought I'd throw it in.
No, we don't cheat. It's all about the competition and the fun. Right, question 5. What is it called when several thin pieces of wood are glued together in layers?
Eddie.
Go, Eddie.
Lamination.
Yes.
Oh, well done.
Like I said, I've ramped these questions up because you're all too good from
It's
past
the same with
experience.
Glass lamination.
I'm joining Team Armstrong.
What's Team Armstrong?
Well, we're going to do this one legitimately, the quiz. I'm not going to cheat.
Right,
As in
okay.
Lance Armstrong.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
Team Armstrong.
I've been taking drugs all morning.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
God damn it.
do you call a cup of tea a drug?
Suppose it is.
No, when you
Had the
mix the
coffee.
heroin in with it, sure.
I had the coffee, but shortly after a coffee, every morning I need to poo.
Well,
I
that's
think
all
it
right.
gets everything moving. I think that's one
I don't
point
know how
there,
it
Eddie.
works, but yeah, definitely works.
Yeah, I love doing yoga. You have a really good yoga session, and then the next day, spectacular. It's great.
And I could say with yoga, sometimes it's only 5 minutes after you're finished.
Yeah,
You
no,
move
it
things around that well.
takes a little bit of time for things to work their way through, but I can guarantee it within 24 hours. Happy days.
What's your favourite flavour?
Yoga. Oh, Eddie's a comedian. Question 6. Name the members of the Doug Anthony All-Stars.
Oh, Captain.
Go, Captain.
Tim Ferguson, Richard.
Here's a show on the ABC, Richard.
I know,
Yeah.
but Richard somebody. I'll come back to that.
There is
And-
no time limit here, Captain. So.
Well, we're putting on the kettle. Sid.
I can see their face. You go, Sid.
Go, Sid.
Richard Fidler. So
Yes.
that was a hint I was trying to say about Radio ABC.
Yes.
702.
Yes.
And Paul McDermott.
Yes.
Paul McDermott. Richard Fidler used to get his hair cut in my salon.
Oh,
I was
Yes.
propositioned once by Tim Ferguson
were you?
during the Rocky Horror Show. We were at a
Yeah.
table right at the stage, and he rolled across it and looked over at me and said, "Hey, mate, how about a root?"
And
No. Oh, you were there too.
Marianne was there, wasn't she?
Oh, yes. Were you there too?
No. Sid might have been.
No, I wasn't there. But Eddie, have you ever wondered how your life would be if you actually said yes?
Often. I loved
Well,
him. He's
I'm sure you could.
amazing, and he's still very active.
He's not in the best of health these days.
No.
No. But I'm sure you could contact him if you still wanted to give it a go.
Don't
You
take
didn't.
me.
You didn't part on bad terms.
No, definitely not.
Well, there you
So
go.
the door's still open.
The door is open. Right. Question 7. In what state of the USA is the Grand Canyon?
Oh, Captain.
Go, Captain.
Is it Nevada?
No.
Sid,
Sid?
Colorado.
No.
Eddie,
Go, Eddie.
Arizona.
Yes. I was thinking
had
you
to
would
get
get
that.
that
He
one,
went
Eddie.
Yeah.
He's been there.
Yeah.
I drove there.
There you go. Question 8. I had this the other day at work and it really made me think, and I thought this is a quiz question.
Did you
Spell-
get topical cream for it?
Eddie,
Spell punctilious. Isn't it a horrible word?
say it again. I barely heard.
Tilly.
Punctilious.
Punk.
Punctilious.
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 I don't think it's a OUS at the end.
That's Sid. I'll give it a crack.
Go, Sid.
PUNCTIL until IOUS.
Yes. Well done.
I've never used or spelled that word before.
I've never used it. I've had to spell it though.
And what does it mean, by the way?
Oh, I can't remember. Honestly, if someone uses it, it's because they're knobs. There are so many other words you could use instead of that. You know, there are just some words out there that they're there. It's like you're okay, but you don't need to use them. You can use much better, plainer words.
It's
And that's
word
one of them.
wankery.
Sorry?
Word wankery.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
That is the
Spell
term.
wankery.
WANKERY.
Pretty good.
You should try and enroll in that kids spelling bee show, Sid. You're about the right size.
If he keeps his cap on, they won't tell.
The giveaway is, I think, the blanket I got around
Yeah,
me.
the
It's a
little
cold morning.
blankie.
I'm impressed with the blankie, I must say.
Yeah, keep the setting in Zoom where you improve your appearance. That's masterful.
Oh, okay. I think you actually helped me to do it.
There is
You
a
were
setting.
telling me the ones that you use.
Oh yeah, it softens your wrinkles. It's really good.
Wow. I soften my wrinkles by getting fatter. Right. 9. What are the annual Simpsons Halloween episodes called?
Oh, Captain,
Go, Captain.
the Treehouse of Horror.
Yes. They're my favourites. I love them.
They're so good.
So good. 10. Where is the big prawn located?
Oh, Captain,
Go, Captain.
Ballina.
Yes.
Wow.
I've driven past
round.
it too.
That is the end of round 2. Are you ready for a Who Am I?
Yes.
Right. This
Absolutely.
one I've taken from the Australian Dictionary of Biography. And oh my goodness, it's sad about opportunity lost, I think. I think that's the easiest way to say it.
Captain Kevin Rudd.
No.
He had 2 cracks at it.
Radio. I was born.
Oh,
What?
a little shortened.
He was born?
Yes.
I was born on 17 June. Oh, it's his birthday today. Oh, and now you know
Is
it's
that
a boy.
a
'cause I said-
coincidence?
Yeah, pure coincidence. I was born 17 June 1867. My dad was a Norwegian-born miner who jumped ship in Melbourne to join the gold rush. And my dad changed his surname when his parents married. Say that again properly. His dad changed his surname when he married his mum. My parents struggled on their selection and in their marriage. And the responsibility for keeping the household running and food and the selection often fell on my shoulders. I was often alone, worried about the problems on the selection and disturbed by the apparent estrangement of my parents. I didn't start school until I was 8. In 1876, after a night of sickness and earache, I awoke one morning slightly deaf and my hearing deficiency continued and it became a major and incurable loss by the time I was 14. My schooling was often interrupted and I only had 3 years of schooling in total, ending in 1880. In 1883, I came to live with my mum in the city in Sydney and I became apprenticed to a coachmaker. I took night classes so I could matriculate. However, working and study exhausted me and I was persecuted by workmates and failed my exams. And I had little success applying for other jobs. In 1887, I went to Melbourne to be treated at the Victorian Ear and Eye Hospital for my deafness, but there was no cure available. In the meantime, I began to write. And I started writing pieces for the Bulletin and for the Republican.
Sid.
Go, Sid.
Banjo Patterson.
No. In 1891, I was offered a place on the Boomerang and continued to write prose and rhymes. But the Boomerang went into financial difficulty and I was let go. I've worked odd jobs writing and occasionally carousing. And whether luck or temperament, I seemed unable to attain equilibrium or direction in my writing or lifestyle. In the late 1880s and through the 1890s, I've published stories, poems and prose.
Sid.
Unable... Go, Sid.
Keith Richards.
Born 18 what?
67.
Yeah, it took him a little while to find his feet, but once he did, he was all right. All that rejection taught him something.
No, not Keith, funnily enough. By 1892, one of the stories I had written was The Drover's Wife, but unable...
Eddie.
Go.
Henry Lawson.
Yes, Henry Lawson. He started spending more time in bars. Archibald, as in the Archibald Prize, suggested he take a trip and sent him out to Bourke, but it was in the middle of the big drought in the 1890s, and it was what was going on out in the bush just appalled him and he was overwhelmed. But it did provide lots of inspiration for him. He went to New Zealand in the early 1890s and worked as a telegraph linesman and turned his back for a while on alcohol and journalism, but he returned to Sydney in 1894, got a job on the Daily Worker but was retrenched, and then consoled himself in booze. He published short stories in prose and verse. He was contracted to publish books by Angus and Robertson. He married a lady called Bertha Brett in 1896 and they had 2 kids, a boy and a girl. They went briefly to Western Australia in search of gold and came back to Sydney because, that all went pear-shaped. He was now a writer and a public figure of some note, and he embarked on a colourful round of escapades, and he and his mates were called the Dawn and Dusk Club. They went back to New Zealand and he was teaching the Maoris. I don't know what, probably English or something. Didn't last long. The marriage wasn't happy. He got letters of promise from English publishers, so they went over to England with the financial help of friends, but it just didn't happen. It didn't take off. He wrote some stories and things, but they were too far away from family. The weather was awful and his wife had some mental issues, so he sent wife and kids home. And from 1902, when they returned to Sydney, his life just went on a decline from then until he died. He attempted suicide in 1902. In 1903, he was divorced. He kept publishing. He was frequently jailed for failure to pay maintenance for his children. From 1907, he spent several times in mental hospitals. He was cared for by a lady called Mrs. Byers, but he became frail, haunted and a pathetic figure, known for wandering the streets of Sydney.
I didn't know that.
His writing contained images of ghostliness and an increasing sense of insubstantiality. Yeah. In 1920, the Commonwealth Literary Fund granted him £1 a week pension, and he died in September 1922 of a cerebral hemorrhage and is buried at Waverley Cemetery.
Wow.
How sad.
I didn't realise he was deaf.
I remember hearing something about it or reading something about it. I remember hearing something.
I was about to say the choice of words then.
Yeah, I remember reading something about it. I am not exactly on top of it.
Yeah, come on, let's keep it light. It's quiz, it's not a history lesson.
That brings us to the end of part 1 of our general knowledge quiz, dear listener. Stay tuned for part 2, which will be going across the airwaves soon. Until then, take care.
Shit, that was quick.
Hey, no mucking around.